Dither Boy just got a small update to version 6.0.4 and I'm here to quickly summarize the new changes and additions we've made since version 6 because we've been chipping away at little feedback, requests and quality of life updates as well as some bug fixes as well and the usual stuff. So I have got Dither Boy open now and I am already on the newest version. If you need to update, you can go to settings and click on updates, or you can go to help and check for updates if you're in an older version. So if you're on version 5 or before, you need to go to help, but if you are in version 6 already, just go to settings and click updates there. Alternatively, you can go in your Studio AAA account now to update. I will link a video below this one that shows you how to do that. Once you are updated though, if you want to have a look at some of the new features, then the first one I'm going to show you is an improvement we made to video. If you go to settings and click on general and then scroll down to video engine, you can see here I've already got this installed, but this is FFmpeg. If you don't already have this installed, there will just be an install version here. It'll take a few minutes depending on the speed of your internet, but once it's installed, this will allow you to import, export, and just generally dither your videos quicker in Dither Boy. There's a little link here, and I'd also just recommend going and checking out FFmpeg because if you're a creative and you work with videos a lot, it's probably a use case for you somewhere to have this installed anyway. Next thing, if you scroll down just below this, there is a slider update mode category. When version 6 came out, it was just this option for debouncing the slider updates, but in version 6.0.1 we added the scroll wheel control option. So if you want to be able to hover over a property in Dither Boy like brightness or scale and scroll on your mouse wheel to control that property, then you can enable this. And then if you go down even further to the bottom here, you've got a new section for presets and it'll say category filter drop down. So I've already got this on. If I toggle it off and just import an image, if I scroll down now to presets, I've just got this one big drop down that's like all my presets, and I've got quite a few. If we have a look here at my library, I've got all these presets I've been making for tutorials, so a bit annoying to scroll all the way through these. If you go to settings and click general, go to presets and toggle on the category filter drop down, you can now filter the presets based on the dithering category. So if I just go on and go to ordered, the only presets now that will show are my ordered dither presets. As well, when you are loading a preset that contains animation, you'll get a little option now whether you want to include the animation. So if I click switch to animation, it will load in the effect that I created on the image I've loaded, but it will load it in fully animated rather than skipping the animated bit like it was before. One of the main reasons we added this little filter is just because if you go to studioAAA.com and click on the new community tab just at the top, I'll just show you it here actually. So if you go to community and scroll down, I'm going to be putting out a lot of presets here. Each one of these, other than the pastel palettes one, all contain a preset. So there might be a point where I've released like 20 of these, you've made 20 of your own, and it's just hard to like organize. So now you can enable the filter if you need it. Now the next couple of changes I want to show you are just new effects that we added, as well as a new export type for halftone. So very quickly, since version 6 we added pop tone, which at surface level is kind of boring, but it's made up of diamond, star, square and circle shapes on a grid with a variation slider. So this is cool for animating, but it looks kind of weird until you load in a color palette. So if I just pull in a source palette here and have a zoom in, you can see if you were to animate things like this variation slider or the density slider, you can get a little bit more out of this one than just like that flat shape that it was when it was just two colors. Another category we added in version 6.0.1 is the polygon category. So these are all just polygon shapes for your dithering. So it's going to render your image just made up of polygons. You've got low poly, which is different triangles with all different triangle types, or you can go for like an actual polygon. They're all polygons, but you know what I mean, not a triangle. So a hexagon, pentagon, and you can change the direction and stuff. A little bit hard to like decipher what the image is when you go too low with this one, but I think it's quite cool kind of at like this level of detail. But yeah, that's a new category we added since version 6. Beehive is another new one, which is in the special effects category, but it's more of an ordered dither, so maybe I put it in the wrong one. But yeah, if we go to just a monochrome one here and we set the scale all the way up and then change the cell size, you can see that it literally like renders into the image sort of these beehive cells. But what's really cool about this one is if you lower the cell size all the way down, they kind of like truncate, or there's not enough room to render a full cell. So if we lower the scale and then lower the cell size, you get this really really glitchy result from it, which is cool. And it's like an artifact or a byproduct of the attempt at creating the beehive cells. It wasn't like intentional. It was just like a happy accident really. So we kept this one in. And then finally, if we go over to the halftone mode, which we added in 6.0.2, you'll just be prompted to enter into halftone mode, click on enter. And initially it was just this. So you just had the halftone effects here and there wasn't any new export type created for it. But whatever you set up in here, if you just come to export and in the drop down, if you change to screens and go export image, so you can see what we've got here is a folder now, and it's dumped in all of the SVG files that are basically one SVG per channel. So here you've got the cyan, magenta, yellow, and black angles. What it'll do is it'll render each of those channels as an SVG file, dump them in a folder, as well as a JPEG file for the outputted halftone effect and the original as well. So if we just look at the yellow channel here, which is mostly this glasses section, it was like a cyberpunk stock image I loaded up. I'll leave a link to it below if you want to have a look at it. But yeah, and there's obviously going to be some yellow dots that go through the hair and stuff as well. But really there's no yellow in the background, or there's no yellow in the like shoulders and stuff of this image. So if I load up the yellow, it's just going to give you the halftone from the yellow section. Then if you go to magenta, it's just going to give you the halftone that rendered in magenta. Now, I'm not an expert on screen printing. This was requested and the person who requested it said this was basically what they were asking for. But just as like a disclaimer, this export method for screens isn't a one size fits all for screen printing. If you really know what you're doing with screen printing, then I'm told this is useful. But from me trying to learn about this and asking my friends who work with this kind of print method, my advice would be, if you are screen printing halftones, to talk to a print shop about what they would want from you and the kind of formats that they would want to align things basically. Either way, it's a new feature and a new update, and there's some creative use for this beyond screens anyway. If you want to see a new feature added to Dither Boy, we are working on Dither Boy 6.1 right now, which is already like set in stone and fully planned out. But any feedback is always appreciated. So please let me know what you would want to see next, or if you have any ideas or any use cases for your particular type of work that you do for Dither Boy. In this latest update, there are also some niche fixes for different bugs or errors that people have run into. So if you've had any weird issues with Dither Boy, then please update, because there is a good chance that we've fixed it all now. And if you do ever run into a bug or an issue, then please just email us at support@studioAAA.com. When you email, just please include your version number, your operating system, and if you email from the email address that you bought Dither Boy with, that always makes it easier for us. As well, if you go to settings and click on logs, I've got 69 logs here, but that's just because I've been messing around and using like test versions of Dither Boy and stuff. But if you click here, it will open up a folder, and if you send us any new files in that folder, it will help us work out what might be going wrong if you are encountering a bug. But yeah, that's literally it for this video. Please get updated. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see. Get in touch if you got any issues. And other than that, enjoy the new updates. I'll definitely post more about Dither Boy version 6.1 when I know when it's coming, or when I have some more information about it. But until then, obviously uploading regular tutorials here, and I will see you in the next video.